Hello, everybody. So I just thought I would jump back on at the end of a phenomenally wonderful day, actually. It's been a real day of treasures and surprises. That's what I would say. I took a walk just now with my dogs and went out for a stroll in the woods. It's been a lovely sunny day today, really quite beautiful here in London. And I was just thinking and reflecting on what a fantastic experience this launch process has been. And really the implications of sending a book out into the world and just what an amazing thing that is to do. I've also had a chance to look at the messages that people have sent me and, of course, start to count up all of the receipts for people who have bought a copy of the book. So I'm not going to find out and kind of start that draw until I think probably say tomorrow at about 10 o'clock. I'll have a look at it and then I'll make an announcement and I'll start sharing with people who've been winners what they've won and how they can get their prizes. But I'm going to give some time to filter that in. So if you have bought a copy of the book or you're thinking of buying a copy of the book today, please do. And please do send me the receipt. And if you are able to leave a review, please do that and let me know. And again, you'll go into the kind of special prize draw. I've got some lovely prizes today, which are really nice gifts that people have given me. There's some discount vouchers. There's some real time and experience, such as half an hour with the incredible Julie Bale to uncover some singing. And it's a wonderful experience, whether you're online or whether you are in person. It's amazing to have the experience, actually, of a singing lesson with someone who does really, truly believe that we can sing. So today has been about sharing this book, Conversations at the Shoreline. And before I sign off today, because I haven't really done so, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the logo on the front of the book. This is my brand logo. And it is I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tattoo on my arm. There you go. Oh, can you see it? I can't put my arm the other way up without standing up. But this is a tattoo I had designed for me to reflect an idea that was really, really important to me, which was the way that we set the compass. If you look at the logo up on the screen behind me, we set the compass, and it's us. We decide in our minds where we're going to go and what we're going to do. And then if you see, looking at the logo, the waves, and there's the sun, and you can just about make out, if you've got a copy of the book, you'll definitely be able to see it. There's a little boat there. And that little boat really reflects us. We're kind of thrown around on the tempest of storms and wild seas. And we're affected by the things that happen to us, other people, our thoughts actually about ourselves, our own limiting beliefs about what we think we can and we can't do. Sometimes we're really impacted because we've decided to believe that it's somebody else's fault and we've forgotten that we do have a choice. And so we make our mind up about what we're going to do, and then things happen. And then the anchor is very important, because the anchor reflects our values, our sense of self, the people that we have real good, actual, genuine connections to. Genuine connections being mutual connections that go both ways, not a connection where it just goes one way. And for me, that logo is really significant. It's something that I have on the screen during every session with clients. It was a real choice I've got a few tattoos, as some people have, but it was a real choice to make it very visible to me, to remind me that, life is happening, and it is not our job to flatten the stormy seas of life. What we have to do is make sure that we've got stability and we've got anchors and we've got good connections around us. And then we have to understand that what it is that we decide to do may just not happen that way. And for me, that metaphor ties in really closely to the Magic 3 in the book, this clarify, communicate, and correct, because we're going to clarify, we're going to think, this is what I want to say, this is how I feel, this is what I want to share. And then we're going to communicate that. And then we're going to get blown off course. It's just going to happen. We've got to expect it to happen. I think one of the most difficult things about difficult conversations is managing our expectation that somehow it's going to go well. It won't. It may not go well. And the way that we deal with stuff that doesn't go well is the same way that we once learned how to walk or tie our shoelaces or boil an egg so it was just the right softness, so the white was properly cooked, but the yolk was still running. We do it through practice. We do it through going back and trying it again and then trying it again and then having another go. And when we're parenting, actually, parenting is just full of mistakes. And I've made many mistakes. So many of us have. In business, we make mistakes. We go down wrong pathways. We do all sorts of things. Today, the live stream, it didn't work this morning. I did not get it to live stream on Facebook. I thought it was. It just wasn't. It was just for a very limited number of people. It didn't work. But it did work on YouTube and it did work on Instagram. And I was able to take a break, which was a really handy thing because I needed to pee. And then we were able to come back and we were able to make it work. So today's 4 parts of this launch has been like a difficult conversation of kind of going back and having another go, going back and refining, going back and doing something different. And I just think you can find metaphors for that everywhere you go in life. We've all got them. If you are listening to this now and you think about when were things difficult in your life, you know that there were moments. They were difficult. So what do we do? Right, what is it that I'm trying to do? I'm trying to do a live stream, which I've never done before, on Facebook, which I've never done before, and let's share it out on YouTube and Instagram, which I've never done before. So I'm clear about what I want to do. I can gather all of the information, but I still have to keep having another go when it doesn't work. I still have to be able to seek help, which I did. Thank you so much to Nicola Rowley. Thank you so much to Stacey Keane for both being there and working out in the background how to do that. Because that was just like what a difficult conversation is. You have it and then you just fail, or it doesn't happen, or you think it's going to happen and then it just stumbles and falls. And when that happens, what we do about it really, really, really does make a difference. So I was trying to think about what would be a good reading to do for this final part of the book. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share. It would be tempting to read another poem because I do like doing that, and I might do that later. But actually, throughout the book, I have what I call kind of Eve's epiphanies throughout the book. And what these are is that these are moments when I learned something. And so I'm just going to share this, which is towards the end of the book, if you bear with me. So this is Eve's learning and it's I think it's in the last chapter of the book. Okay. And this was learning about navigating relationship challenges, and this is a little bit from my life as well. So Eve's learning. Over time, I began to see relationships through a different lens, like stepping back from a painting to notice the hidden patterns. There were connections that I had to walk away from, some weighed down by unresolved conflicts, others frayed by unmet needs, and a few where staying meant silencing who I truly was. Letting go felt like standing at the edge of a cliff, wondering if stepping forwards would bring freedom or loss. Life whispering that it is time to move on. Growing up, I lived like a leaf caught in the wind, moving from place to place so much. Other than the cabin on Annalise when I was growing up, where I shared my bed with the sails, I never had my own room. Friendships often ended with a new location, a new school, new people. So I learned to detach from the pain of loss before it could settle. I learned to keep myself safe but distant. At other times, I clung tightly. I overextended myself to keep a relationship alive, even when the relationship drained me. It was a constant tug of war, holding on too tightly or letting go too soon. And then I saw my children raised in a stable home with their daily walk to school. There and back along the same paths. They could move through friendships with an ease I had never known, forming connections, letting them go, and opening their hearts once again. One day they might be disappointed and their sadness could hang like a cloud hanging low. Yet the next day, new friendships would appear like sunlight breaking through, and their spirits lifted, as if they had always known that the tides of connection would ebb and flow. Watching them, I began to understand freedom and choice, that relationships are not failures when they end, they are lessons, leaving behind the gifts that we need for the next chapter. For the first time, I realized that I did not have to overperform or cling to relationships that left me feeling unseen. I did not have to carry the weight of holding something together when it was no longer serving either of us. Letting go could be an act of love for them and for myself. And the beauty of all this, no relationship is ever wasted. Even those that bring pain leave behind treasures, moments of joy, lessons learned, and the quiet knowledge of who we're becoming. Letting go can feel like standing in the rain, cold and uncertain. As the storm passes, there's a clarity in the air. Not a defeat, it's a clearing, a way of making space for something new. Every relationship, whether fleeting or lasting, teaches us what we need, what we value, and how to connect. Looking back, I see my life like a river, shaped by every bend and tributary. Some connections lasted only moments, others a lifetime, but all left their mark. These relationships taught me to compost her into wisdom, to see endings as part of the flow, and each one added something to the story of my life, helping me embrace the truth. Even when things go wrong, they are never without meaning. Here a quote by A.S. Byatt from The Biographer's Tale. The world is full of ambiguous signs and instructions, of oblique confessions and misleading signals. What matters is not just what is said, but how it is heard. For me, I remember writing that passage in the book, and I really wanted to convey that there really is nothing lost. It is like the universe. The way that atoms, when one life passes, atoms dissolve and they come back and they get formed. When water that we drink passes through us and goes out eventually to the oceans and becomes a drop of water somewhere else that nurtures someone else's life or some tree's life. Nothing is lost. And I think one of the key components to tackling difficult conversations is that although things hurt, and they definitely do, we move through pain, we move through discomfort, we move through what feels like terrible things, but in the end, nothing is lost. These heartbeats, these breaths, these moments, relationships, even if a relationship has to end, it is simply clearing space for other relationships. And in my work as a breakup and divorce coach, in my life, I have clung too hard, just like we do when we've got too many belongings in our house, or like when I was talking to Catherine earlier about people who cling to that pair of jeans that they think that one day they'll fit into because they think they'll lose that half a stone, rather than going, do you know what? I'll pass those jeans on to someone else and I'll just get another pair that fit, that I can wear every day, not a pair that sit on the shelf or on the hanger, never being worn. Because we don't need to hoard up for fear of losing, because when you clear space, there is room for more. And when we have a difficult conversation, if we're calm and if we're persistent and if we do the emotional regulation, which I talk about again and again in the book, then what happens is that we do move things forwards. And if we find out when we have one of those difficult conversations that the relationship is no longer functional, is no longer viable, it's no longer working, well, it doesn't matter, because there are going to be other relationships out there. And part of being a divorce and breakup coach is helping people get clarity, to take responsibility, to get their power back, to get their agency back, and to move forward. Because as humans, we move forward through time, inevitably. Children don't often realize this because they're really young and they don't have enough experience. But as adults, we do know this to be the case. So from my heart to yours, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's listened in. I want to just say, I can't even express how grateful I am to everybody who's bought a copy of this book. It just means so much. And I really do hope that when you read it, you enjoy it and you understand just the messages and the simplicity, which is that all of us have that value in our voice. And although it's so difficult to speak, the endeavor to dare to speak, to have those tough conversations, to seek help if you need it. And please, if you are struggling with a difficult conversation, do reach out, do. To be able to do those things, that's part of living, it's part of being. And I think it was Jeanette Winterson in her book, Why Be Happy When You Can Be Normal? And I think she says, although I know others have said it, you always know the right thing because the right thing is often the hardest thing. It's the most difficult thing to do. And I hope that these chats that we've had today, I hope reading the book, I hope the other resources that I have on my website, which I really encourage you to go and have a look at, all help you on your journey with daring to speak and daring to have really tough conversations to get good outcomes, closer relationships, and firmer connections in your life. So I'm going to sign off now with a massive thank you to everybody. Thank you to my team. Thank you to the team at Brilliance Publishing for producing what is a beautiful book. I'm so proud of it and the way that it looks. Brenda and Olivia and Zara and Eds and everybody there. Thank you to Nicola Rowley and Anna Fox and all of the team at NJRPR for your help making this book be visible and getting it out there, for helping me get my article in the Telegraph and to be on the Vanessa show and to be in Grazia and Platinum and Metro a few months ago. You know, those things are really, really important and a great way of, you know, and she's done that and Nicola's done that by working really tirelessly. Thank you to Stacey and Sarah and Helen and Estelle and all of my team and Matt and Mitch and all of the people who've been in the background really helping, and Elliot recording the audio version of the book and the course. All of these people have been working so tirelessly in the background to help me be here, because when you see that word author and you see my name on the book, there's a whole team of wonderful people whose names should really be there too. So thank you to everyone and everyone else who supported me today. And before I just gush and burst into tears, I'm going to sign off now. But thank you from my heart. And I look forward to connecting with you. Like me, share me, subscribe me. And I'll be around tomorrow to talk about the prizes. And I'll be in touch if you want something. So keep sending your receipts. Please keep buying the book and sending your receipts. And please, please, please leave reviews. And you'll be in the draw for some extra special prizes. Take care.